I'm on Patreon, and Patreon is a platform where I will upload interesting videos where you can learn astrology, and this is an exclusive Patreon only membership videos where you will get some interesting takes on Vedic astrology, some interesting learning on Vedic astrology. Connect with me on Patreon and we will grow, and I will give you much more deep insights on Vedic astrology, and lot more secrets will be shared there. Hello Seekers, welcome to Punneit Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Sun, the planet that is the Atman, is going to move in the sign of Aquarius on 13th of February. Now from 13th of February, when Sun will be in this zodiac sign, it will join Saturn, which is in Aquarius. Saturn is already combust, but now Sun comes very close to it. It is a very line of sight kind of conjunction, and surprisingly, Sun will be in the enemy zodiac of Aquarius, Saturn will be in its Mula Trikona of Aquarius, and Sun is overpowering it. Somehow it means that no matter how powerful the Sun is, S-O-N Sun, which is Shani, the father, S-U-N Sun, is dominating. Which means there will be certain angle where you will see that you will be eager, you will be forced, there will be a calling from within to do something, to take over what is already happening, and that might break the flow, that might bring in external influence that will change the scenario in your life. You have to drop your ego and be very humble during this time. The more grounded you are, and the more inclusive you are, and the more understanding you are, and the more you are flexible in your life, you will see that the Sun and Saturn conjunction will bring in good result, and the biggest factor here will be played by Venus, which will become exalt from 15th of February. Let's discuss for all ascendant what this will bring in for you, but before that, do not forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon, and also follow me on Instagram for reels and Telegram for all the links, and for consultations, please drop me an email. Let's begin ascendant wise analysis. Aries ascendant. For you, Sun rules the 5th house and Sun will be in the 11th house. And this 11th house Sun is going to combust your 11th Lord, which means that you need to focus more on the productivity and less on income. This means that you have to give more work, more input before expecting any kind of output. Remember, this is a Sun in the Mula Trikona zodiac sign of Saturn. Saturn rules your 10th and 11th house. So this also means that you have to be very careful about your communication, about how you express, because your communication may disturb your career, your communication may disturb your source of income. This is the time when you have to avoid any conflict, social conflict, especially with people in authority, power, government. This is the time to be more humble, and you will have to shift your approach to a more modest, more diplomatic approach. Otherwise, there may be a chance of insult, there may be a chance that your image or reputation may be at stake. Especially, your knowledge will be tested. How much you know is going to be questioned. So don't be afraid or don't get agitated or angry when somebody questions your ability, because this is the time to prove yourself. If you chant Aditya Hriday Stotra, if you pray to Bhagwan Surya by chanting Surya Gayatri Mantra, and also discipline yourself, focus more on time management, and spend quality time with both the children and elderly of your family, you will see that the Sun-Saturn conjunction will turn out to be a conjunction which is going to be more modest and will also give you a kind of soul realignment. You need to also work on your knowledge. Good time for certification, good time for certification, and it is a good time to pursue higher education. Your connectivity in the network circle will also improve. And if you are in politics, if you are in real estate, if you are going for government tenders, or you want to start a manufacturing unit, this is going to be a good time for you. Just that you have to drop your ego and avoid any ego-based conflict, especially with the father or father figure. Overall, it is going to be a mixed transit, because on one hand, Sun and Saturn is very strong conjunction in the 11th house, the house of your gains, But on the other hand, Venus and Jupiter is on the 12th house, which is going to give you the sense of charity and forgiveness. Just you have to ensure that your income should balance your expense, because expenses will be on the higher side. Taurus Ascendant. For you, Sun rules your 4th house. Well, it's a weird place for Sun, because Sun does not get any strength in the 4th house. But this means that power gives you the sense of satisfaction and happiness. That power is going to challenge your karma. So somebody is going to bring a conflict in your life that will bring you out of the comfort zone. You will desperately try to bring more comforts in your office. So you will see that you are going to maybe change your chair, maybe change the posture, the way you sit in your office, maybe redesign your office and bring more comforts. But see, this is the Sun and Saturn, so these are opposite forces, which means that you might focus more on the comforts and focus more on the relaxation rather than the actual work. So, this is also the time when your personal life will interfere in the professional life. Matters that are troubling you in the home might trouble you in the office also, which in return can result into humiliation, a fight with the supervisor, problems in career, and a loss of reputation. So this is the time when you will have to be very careful how you speak, how you are trying to build your image, and if your image is everything for you, then you will have to work on that. It's a time when you have to really prove yourself and justify yourself and be ready to face any kind of questions that will be thrown at you during this time. Now, for this entire duration of Sun and Saturn conjunction, Mars will also be playing a vital role in the 1st house. Mars being in the 1st house is aspecting the sign of Leo. Therefore, you will have this headstrong attitude to fight for justice. So if you really want to put forward your point of view, you have to put forward your point of view with conviction, backed by data, and you should follow the right path. If you go with a ego-based clarification, it is only going to spoil the matter. But if you go with proper data, and if you demand what you deserve, the universe will listen to you. This is also the time when you will get justice, and that justice will ultimately put you and your mind into mental peace. But this mental peace will not come until you start letting go of the things. Jupiter and Venus in the 11th will also give you relaxation. So your expectations will be fulfilled, but you need to focus more on the work, and maybe your work hours will increase, resulting in a lack of sleep, resulting in problems in your workplace and work-life balance going off the track. That is one area where you must focus. Gemini Ascendant. In your case, you will be surprised that you may be put into situations, or you will find yourself in situations where you might have to take a tough stand. You might have to take a tough side between two friends. You might have to choose one. Your communication can create issues among relations. This is the time to be highly diplomatic and follow the centrist, the middle path. Sun and Saturn being in the 9th house is also prohibiting for long distance travel, especially overseas travel. But if you are trying for such kind of travel from a very long time, you will see that your efforts will multiply and you will try to overrule the already decided factors in your life, or you might try to change it by yourself. Don't do that. See the limitation of the event and respect that limitation. If it is not happening, if it is not possible, wait for some time. 9th house also talks about higher order thinking, professional education. So people who want to go into research, people who want to go and do PhDs, people who want to take certifications will see some good growth during this time. On the other hand, this is the time when you will try to dominate your problems. You will try to dominate your 8th house. Therefore, you will try to change your destiny by thinking investment in a certain area may be fruitful for you, but eventually you may realize that it was not that great. You need to be with the in-laws wherever possible and do not engage into any fight. There will be differences in point of view. You might also see that you are not so happy with the guidance that you are getting. but still keep moving, keep walking, because constant effort is the theme for Gemini, and it is a good transit considering an exalt Venus and Jupiter in the 10th house. This transit will change your destiny. Cancer Ascendant. Now in case of Cancer Ascendant, you will see that Sun rules your 2nd house and this Sun goes in your 8th house. This is a time when you will focus on how to invest the money. This is the time when the money that you are getting, the returns that you are getting will cloud your thoughts, and there will be financial matters, maybe in the family, that is taking over your free time, and maybe the thoughts in your mind is always trying to solve that. You're always focused on the Kutumba Bhava, the 2nd house effects. See, this is the time when you will have to be very practical. There will be unknown enemies and unexpected situations that you will have to fight, especially if you are Cancer moon sign. Then both 2nd Lord as well as your 7th Lord goes in the 8th house. In this case, you will have to be very careful about your health, because both Sun and Saturn goes into the house where Sun is weak and Saturn is strong. So there can be enemies and issues that is invisible to you. It's a time when you can have a quarrel with your spouse. It can create negative results with your business partner. So if you have to speak something, this is the time to keep it secret. Sun and Saturn means keeping things secret, not letting everybody know what's in your mind. But if you are depressed and if you have to speak eventually, then you have to find a professional avenue where you can open up. Also, if you experience Jupiter and Venus, which is in the 9th house, this is actually going to give you a good growth. Growth in career, growth in education. Your destiny will favor you, and a lot of people will gain from speculative income also. But considering that 8th house is under effect and there are dark forces and there's a war going on in the 8th house, it is going to bring both positive and negative out of you. So it's not a time where you can take risks. Financial risks should be avoided and investment should be made in long term. People involved in research, PhD, research in niche subjects like space study, quantum physics, or maybe marine biology, something like that, will see the benefits of the Sun move in the 8th house. Sometimes 2nd Lord going in 8th house asks you to do a lot of karma without any return. So this is the time when you have to follow the path of karmanneva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Leo Ascendant. Now in case of Leo, the Sun rules your Ascendant, so you are basically the Sun personified, and the Sun goes in the 7th house. So you will be put into a situation where you will have to handle and deal things which you don't want to deal. But when you will be put there, you will have to take over, you will have to take the charge, you will have to bring in a lot of people, and you will have to basically understand their perspective and put all your energy there. So basically what will happen is when Sun will move in the 7th house, you have to work with the team, you will have to be and prove yourself as a team leader, but there will be conflicts that you must avoid. Few things you will have to ignore and few things you will have to focus on. This means that you might also face fights in your marriage. There will be point of view differences also. So you need to focus and try to be a humble team leader, somebody who can lead with example. Chanting Gayatri Mantra, chanting Aditya Hriday Stotra, and waking up early is going to help you a lot. Virgo Ascendant. In case of Virgo, Sun rules your 12th house and Sun will be in the 6th house. So you will try to conquer your enemies, but you will also see that your hidden enemies will now become visible. So don't be surprised if suddenly you see a change of behavior of certain people that you admired or you thought is your friend, but suddenly there is a fight. Such kind of events is only going to bring out the negativity right in front of you. So it is better to let it go. This is a Sun and Saturn conjunction in the 6th house. So you will also have to let go a lot of things and it will ask for sacrifice towards your duties. This month is going to rule in a way that you will have to fulfill your duties before anything else. Time management might be a key. So you will have to squeeze in your whatever you want to do with whatever time you have. That will be slightly difficult, but you will learn a big skill during this time. The skill of being proactive and the skill of trying to be flexible and be adjusting, which is going to be very important in the long run. Prepare yourself from unnecessary expenses coming your way, but a good time to cut down your loans, cut down your debts and pay off your debts. Now, this is the time when Sun, Saturn in the 6th and Rahu in the 8th is going to bring a Pap Kartari on the 7th house. And the 7th house is going to experience Venus and Jupiter. So within that limits, within the boundaries of these planets, while you are doing your duty, it will also give you relief. It will also give you that enjoyment. Support will come your way. Not exactly the way you want, but the support will be there. If you are flexible enough, if you are attentive enough, if you are not too Mercurian, not too transactional in life, but if you are ready to give before you get, you will see that this month will be really, really positive for you, and it will be competitive, but it will bring you out and will create a mark. You will be able to create a mark for yourself. You can stand out in the crowd. Libra Ascendant. Sun rules your 11th house, and this Sun and Saturn conjunction will be in the 5th house. This means that your hunger for more and more wealth and gain will increase, and you will give your 200% in productivity. Maybe you are trying to ramp up your output from your life. Doesn't matter whether you have a factory or you are a person who gives your time and efforts as if you are in a service industry. Even if you are in a job, you are trying to give more and more time, increasing your work hours with the hope that it will end in more income, better revenue, maybe more reputation and appreciation. That won't happen. See, when Sun and Saturn are together in the 5th house, this is 11th Lord taking over the 5th house, which means that your gains or your thought about the value of the efforts that you're giving will be so overpowering that it might reduce your output also. So that is why even when you are not getting proper returns in your life, keep walking the path with the same pace and then parallelly think why you're not getting, what can you do about it. Because what it might do is it might overpower and you might feel that you're not getting the worth of your efforts and you won't put effort. See, if you reduce your efforts, that automatically justifies the value that you are getting. Then you can't complain. So you will have to give your 200%, continue walking that path, and then expect the justice from Saturn that he will give you proper value. From the perspective of child and childbirth, people who are focusing on having a child will see some positive growth during this time. Any problems will be overpowered by healing. So do a lot of healing. You need to do the healing of solar plexus and you need to get rid of fears. This is a good time to remove any fear from the mind because the soul is going into transformation. Sun and Saturn will also experience Ketu in the 1st house, 9th from the conjunction. So definitely this becomes a very spiritual, very holistic kind of conjunction. But this also means that you will have to do a lot of positive work. This is the time to do punya karma, so that the 5th house, the house of mantras, the house of positive energy, the house which is holding the Amrit, does not get corrupt by the darkness, the fight between Sur and Asur. But yes, you will have to chant a simple mantra, Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityur Ma Amritam Gamaya, Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi, and wake up before sunrise, eat right, cut down on your calories and fast on Saturdays. Scorpio Ascendant. You will experience Sun and Saturn in 4th house. Sun rules your 10th house. This 10th Lord goes into the 4th house, so that means you might bring the problems of your work or some heated debate that has happened in your work to your home, affecting your family environment, affecting your peace of mind and affecting your comfort and sleep. People working from home will see good growth during this time. Homemakers, housewives will see their value coming and they will receive their worth, they will receive their value and appreciation. People will acknowledge your hard work. But this is also the time when you should not bring, doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, you should not bring the problems from the work to your house. Keep it separate. You have to have a very strong partition, a separation between your work and your personal life. Otherwise, your work will eat up the time of your personal life and will make you unhappy. This is the time when you will also see that you are forced to take some bold, strong decisions that might not make you happy, but is required, and because it is required, you will have to do it. So don't hesitate in taking some big, bold decision. Obviously, you will have to see your chart. This is just a general prediction, but maybe you will be forced. And if you are forced, understand that it's the will and it's the order from the divine. And then check your chart and see how it can be done, because you can't ignore, you can't run away from this. Investing in real estate should be avoided. This is also the time when you will be tensed because maybe because of the health of your mother can be a concern, and you will have to do a lot of seva. Good time to get involved into the seva of the elderly, of the family and other people, and chanting Aditya Hriday Stotra. Try not to be overly active during the evening and in the night, and have your sleep right. Otherwise, the tension can cripple you and can create health issues. Take care of your heart and the Anahat Chakra region. You will feel lack of love, and you will feel this, you will have this vibe of cold vibe, which will be visible actually through your behavior. Try to be warm, smile and be happy. Sagittarius Ascendant. In case of Sagittarius Ascendant, Sun rules your 9th house, and this Sun will be in the 3rd house. The people around you, your neighbors, might need your presence. You might have to show your courage and fight your fears and fight the inner dark demons. This is the time when the light will take over your action, and you will be like a light worker, like the child of light. So chant a lot of Gayatri mantra. If you can practice Havan by yourself, if you can learn to do the Havan, the Homam, that will be great. It is also a time when your efforts, on one side you will have a lot of courage and confidence. On the other hand, Saturn is going to restrict you. This is the time when you can breach all the barrier and restriction just because of your sheer will and sheer strength. But because second lord is also combust, you might not get support from your family, especially if you want to go for a higher education. If this is a case of marriage, your initiatives basically will be countered with a lot of logic, data. So you must have faith in yourself, and you must be ready to give a proper, humble justification and explanation. You might also have to manage your time a bit, and your efforts will be overwhelming you. Like you have to put in a lot of efforts to achieve something. But rather, I will say, because Sun and Saturn both holds 2 key places in your zodiac sign, 2nd and 9th, they are not going to be that bad. Just that you ensure that you are not involved in any road rage, you are not fighting with your neighbors, you are not getting too lazy. You are waking up before the sunrise, and after sunset, don't eat a lot of food. Try to be light and cut down on your calories. There can be some shoulder pain, and also when you are playing with fire, like if you are a chef, if you are a housewife, if you are anybody cooking and using fire, be very careful. Under that protection, under the limitation, if your actions are there within the law, you will see that you not only you will get justice, but also you will fight for other people and win, especially if you are a lawyer. So it's a time when you can actually bring out the true talent through a lot of consistent and persistent hard work. So you need to show that continuity, you need to show that mindset that you can bring a change, and then you will bring a change. Capricorn Ascendant. For you, Sun rules your 8th house, and Sun goes in the 2nd house, and it takes over Saturn, which is in the 2nd house, and also it takes over the 1st lord. So here you will have to be very careful about your health. This is definitely going to bring many changes, in fact major changes in the equation of the family. Something in the family will happen that will change your outlook. You might have some conflicts or misunderstandings. So be very clear about what you have to say and what you mean. It is the time to donate food and work on food security, give food to the poor, and see if you can motivate. Your words can be very, very motivating and very demotivating. That can actually bring in negative energy in your life, and then you will have no idea what to do with the result or consequences that you will face. Because Aquarius holds Saturn, but that Saturn is also your Lagna Lord. And if you are in somehow in Saturn Mahadasha or Sun Mahadasha or any kind of combination, this effect will be pronounced. So you need to constantly, through your words, through your Vak Shakti, you will have to be humble, and people involved in politics will see some good growth during this time. But if you speak lie, if your motivation is fake, or if you want to manipulate something, then immediately you will see that you will get, your words will backfire, and this might end up in lack of job, loss of job, a loss of reputation, and you will be held accountable for your own words. So be very careful, be mindful of what you speak and what you eat. Also focus on financial security, because whatever efforts you will take to bring the financial security will work good for you, will be good for you. Also your inheritance or something that was not being sold, or some property that is stuck for a long time of your forefathers, that might come to a solution, and this will increase wealth in your account. That will bring more confidence. Just that you have to be very, very humble and down to earth. Aquarius Ascendant. This Sun and Saturn is forming on your first house. This conjunction on your first house is going to alter your personality. One side of your personality will be masked while the other side will take over. Now this is a time when you have to observe that, are you changing or are you taking decisions because of external influence? See, influence is not bad, but if you're trying to copy somebody, if you're trying to be somebody else, if you're trying to surrendering to the external influence, then this is a problem. You're losing your own identity. And if you think, see, giving a bad habit is good thing. Losing that part of identity is a good thing. Then that influence is good for you. But if that influence forces you to be somebody else who you can't be, then tomorrow when Sun will go into Pisces, and when Saturn will come out of the combustion, this will become a difficult situation to digest. Your decisions might be so difficult that you will regret taking them in the first place. So that part of life you have to be very, very careful. Being on the first house, it is going to impact your head, it is going to impact your personality. You are going to radiate a different kind of personality. So try to be more happy, cheerful, and try to chant a lot of Gayatri Mantra. And if Gayatri Mantra is not possible, at least chant Surya Gayatri Mantra, Surya Puranic Mantra, the shlokas of the sun, and give water to the sun early in the morning and do Surya Namaskar. Taking the oath of doing yoga, focusing on the holistic healing will improve your health and will work on your personality. You can work on your soft skills during this time. Also, the advice of your spouse can be very important. So listen to that. If you have a weak sun in your chart, then your confidence, then you need a guru. When you feel underconfident, talk to someone who is an expert of that field, and you will see that advice will be helpful. Not a good time to completely trust yourself, but it is a time when you can build a new identity and a new trust process. So it is actually a soul realignment for Aquarius Ascendant. This is going to affect all areas of your life. So this is the time when you go slow, allow the planet to take over, and you just be a mute observer, a spectator, and take the positive, reject the negative. Pisces Ascendant. Now the good thing about this transit is not about the Sun or Saturn, but about Venus and Jupiter. See, Venus and Jupiter will be in your first house. So already you will feel happy, you will feel elated. Now combine Sun in the 12th house, and this is a Vipreet Raj Yoga, 6th Lord going in the 12th house. So what might happen is that you are so much happy that you will miss to see the enemies and the difficult situations of life, and that can create issues. Because if you miss that angle of life, then you will be in a difficult time and people can take advantage. So this is the time when people can take advantage of your good nature. They can ask for money, and your nature of giving away, your nature of donating may be misused. So be very careful from that part. Protect your finances and plan your finances in a way that you're focusing more on income rather than expense. This is a good time to work on financial security. For Pisces, Venus and Jupiter in the first house is going to take over and completely make you positive. Your efforts will see a positive direction, a positive outcome. Mercury in the 11th is also going to be extremely auspicious for you. But when you combine Sun and Saturn in the 12th house, 12th Lord is in the 12th house and Sun is also there. Which means the only thing that can stop you is you. You can take decisions that are full of lethargy. You will not take initiatives. You will fight with your people who support you. And the underconfidence will pull you back. All these things are nothing but your nature, which was always within. And I'm not saying one person will have all these effects, but different people can have different dimensions of this. So start working on that angle. The moment you see that there is a negativity creeping in, or the moment you see that you are overindulging in relaxing activities and you are enjoying is not bad, but then you are refusing to work, or you are getting very happy with the praise that people are doing, then it's the time to be alert. Because in the 12th house, in the battle between Sun and Saturn, Saturn, in spite of being combust, will win. So you will be surprised that the hidden enemies are actually winning. Somebody in the office is doing some politics, and suddenly your image is bad. When you will come back and you will realize something has happened and you will have no idea, because all these things will be hidden from you. So how to manage this? Focus, apply your knowledge and be proactive.